If that streets are running, that drive through the masses. Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Oh yeah. Where would you be now? Without love.
Big round of applause for our president, Mr. Ron Kubicki. Ron!
You'll have to forgive me. When I umpire, the kids always tell me, "Ump, you need glasses." And they're right. I'd like to welcome everybody here today on this very special day for 6-inch softball. I'd first like to welcome some very special guests. I think we have State Senator Kimberly Lightford. Is she here? I think she's here. State Representative LaShawn Ford and Chris Welsh. The village mayor of Forest Park, Anthony Colarong, he's here, and the board of trustees. The Park District Board, Eric Entol, and his board of commissioners. The entire staff of the Park District, incredible people to work with, believe me. And then also here, you see these funny looking green shirts? I call them green, my wife says they're a different color. This is your board who works all year long to help get this thing put together. And last but not least, also our 2013 inductees are out there amongst you. That's what we're here for today, besides the museum, is to unveil their plaques. I'll try to go pretty quick. A little over 20 years ago, a man named Al Mag had a dream. It was a dream. He wanted to honor the greatest game and the greatest players in Chicago, 16-inch softball players. So he went to a friend of his, Tony Ribel, and they wanted to put together a softball Hall of Fame. Now you got to remember, 20 years ago, there was a dream. It was just something that he thought would be a great thing to do. He formed the committees, a lot of different committees, and we started the Hall of Fame back then. Over the years, we've held a number of fundraisers, softball tournaments, dinners, brick sales, everything, to get this building built, to make their dream come true. In the beginning, they had to start to search for a place where to put the Hall of Fame. Where are we going to put it? You know, there was so many different ideas. Navy Pier, Hawthorne Racetrack, there's other parks. But it came down really to just one place. What we call, all of us that have played the game, the home of softball for us. The greatest tournament in the history of softball, the No Gloves National, Forest Park was the place we had to be. So we set up really a lifelong partnership with the village and with the Park District. And I'll tell you, that partnership, I don't know if you heard us on the radio, the people of this village and the people of the Park District, I was a director for 40 years, and I'm very proud of my district, but these people are incredible. They never can do enough for you. They bend backwards. They never give you a dirty look when you ask them something. They just do it. I cannot say enough about this village. Also, former Director Dave Novak. Dave was a big help. Thank you, Dave. Bud Boy used to be the president board. He wanted this Hall of Fame here. Great guy. We want to thank him too. And again, I'll go back to the directors right now. Our executive director, Larry Pykars, and his superintendent, Larry Buckley. Two fantastic guys. I've known them a long time. I think I consider them great friends of mine. I know with all the teams that we played here, anytime we wanted something, they jumped to it. This whole week's been very busy for the board and guys helping make the Hall of Fame a reality. And these guys just jumped up. So Larry, the two Larrys, where are you at? Take a bow, guys, because these guys are great, great people. You know, a couple of months ago, we celebrated Larry and Larry's 25th anniversary here. It looks more like 50, Larry, but I won't say nothing, Larry. I love you, brother. You know that. In 2009, part of the dream came true. We opened up the Inductees Park. It was a great thing. You can see it behind you. But we've updated that this year. All brand new plaques. Plaques that will hopefully everybody be proud of. That's because we were getting so full of people in the Hall of Fame, we needed more room. But we want to thank everybody for those that helped us in the displays for those. Now, some 5 years later, we stand here actually on the exact same day, July 19th, to open up the new Hall of Fame Museum. But before we do that, I want to thank a few of our sponsors. And the first one I want to thank is our Grand Slam sponsor, March Manufacturing, and I'll talk more about them in a minute.
Yes.
Our home run sponsors, Molex, MB Financial, Waste Management. Our doubles and triples sponsors, Tops Development. I'll talk more about him too in a minute. Vienna Hot Dogs, Let Us Entertain Your Restaurant, Rawlings, Graphic Edge, Christopher Glass, Affy Tapple. And all you people out there and all you companies that bought bricks. You don't think it made a part, but every brick helps us build this museum. Thank you, all of you. And like I said, before I close, I need to say thank you to a few people. But before I get to them, I want to thank 3 special women. And they're not softball players, at least I don't think they are. My wife was at one time, but 2 Debs and 1 Michelle. It's my wife, Ray Tabowski's wife, Tops, I'm thinking of the old mayor, Ray Tops' wife, and Michelle, Al's wife. You know, it's one thing for us, these 3 ladies understand the passion and the love we have for the game and what we put into this museum and the Hall of Fame. And they give us the time to do it. I remember last Sunday, Ray's wife running around picking up stuff while we were working on the Hall of Fame. If you were here this week, you'd see my wife sitting on the floor out here trying to put the new plaques in and cutting the boards. These women put up a lot. Michelle, I know Al had to do all these graphics and you were there, but they support us. Without them, we wouldn't be around. So you 3 ladies, I really want to thank you very much for everything you do for us. All right, 3 special thank yous. Ray Tops. Ray, raise your hand. Ray did the construction. He built the building, he built the inductee part. Without Ray, I don't know where we'd be. I've worked with him now for many, many years, but over the past week and a half, we were here probably till what, 11 o'clock at night every night? We looked at each other and I could say, Ray, I don't know if we're going to get it done. Yeah, we will, Ron, we will. He would look at me and say, I don't know, I said, we'll get it done, Ray. We calmed each other. We had a ball of fun arguing about who's the best team, who are the best players. He never won, I always won. That's because I have the mic, Ray, so you can't get it. I'll tell you what, this guy did so much for this Hall of Fame. I can't even measure it. You can't even, the time and the money he put in, it's just unbelievable. So Ray, please, everybody, give this guy applause, because it came out beautiful. Second, Al Mag. Al Mag was the founder. It was his dream, his idea. But for the past year, Al has been, besides trying to find all the financing that we can get for the Inside Museum, when you go inside, I think you're going to be shocked. All the graphics, all the artwork, going through all the material. Al did this over the last year. That's why I know Michelle probably never saw him that much, but it was a tough job. Al, where you at? Stand up. We can't thank you enough either, man. And last but not least, we got to say a very heartfelt thank you to, I think, one of the greatest guys in all of softball. A lot of people outside of softball don't know him, but those of us in softball do. He has probably sponsored more teams over the 40 years that I've known him than anybody in softball. I mean, we have some great sponsors out there. All of us do. This guy is phenomenal. I remember a couple years ago, we ran a little financial trouble with my softball team. I says, Fritz, I need some help. The check was there in a week. This guy, I mean, he doesn't do it for everybody, but he was a great guy. He sponsors so many teams. He's just phenomenal. What he did for this Hall of Fame, and he's probably going to hate me, but I'm not going to mention the dollar amount because it was huge. He's probably going to hate me and not talk to me. I told him I was going to embarrass him a little bit because he likes to be embarrassed. This guy didn't just hit a home run. He hit a major grand slam for the Hall of Fame. I just, you know, the project, the outdoor park, the indoor building would never even become being close to being done without this guy. Fritz Zimmerman, please stand up. You deserve a round of applause, buddy. He's another guy. No matter what the problem was, Ray would go to him or somebody would go to him and say, you know, we need a little bit more money for this. Okay, okay. He never said no. I think he kicked me in the knee a couple times, but he was a great guy. I love him. So in closing, I know I didn't want to take too long, get a couple more people up here. I want you to enjoy the day. We want you to understand it. Right after we're done, we're going to unveil the plaques for this year's inductees. Then we're going to cut the ribbon. Now, needless to say, not everybody can get it at one time. We've been passing out wristbands, but you'll get your turn. please enjoy the museum. It's a labor of love from all of us, and it's a part of Chicago. 16 inch softball is Chicago, and now we got a place we can call our own. Thank you, and have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, big hand for our president, Ron Kubicki. Mr. Ron Kubicki. Thank you, Ron. We want to recognize this beautiful stage and the rock band, Whiskey's Quicker, out of Arizona, I understand, sponsored by Vetix. Fantastic, guys. The great Ron Onesti and his brother just got inducted to the Hall, the greatest entertainment group in all of Illinois, Ron Onesti. Thank you, Ronnie. And now let's bring up another very great person, the best town, the best mayor anywhere, Mr. Mayor Anthony Calderon. Mayor! The happy mayor, bring him up. Good evening, Mayor.
You got to be careful when you say the best, because truthfully, it's all of the previous and present softball players that are truly the best, and we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge not only all of the softball players that have come before us, some that are no longer with us, and of course those that are currently playing today, but most importantly, those who had the vision, particularly Al Mag, 20 years ago, saying, you know what, we need to memorialize this permanently. And so today, 20 years later, is truly an honor for everybody, including the Village of Forest Park and the Park District of Forest Park, and for all softball enthusiasts to see that dream come true. Let's give Al another big round of applause. But truthfully, the credit, a lot of the credit to making this reality is the Park District of Forest Park. All of the previous commissioners who stood behind this initiative, particularly Bud Boy, who's no longer with us, to all of the commissioners that made a commitment to donating the piece of property here on the corner that many of you are going to see for the first time. Really, and it's truly, I had the honor of going through it Tuesday when it was all kind of painted but empty, and then today all of the pieces of memorabilia are hung nicely in there. We also have to be thankful for those that held on to that stuff, that really are going to give all of you an opportunity to learn a little bit about the history and all the way to current about 16-inch softball. So I know Ron gave the Village of Forest Park big thanks. We've been happy to play our little role in making this all come together, but truly a lot of the thanks goes to the Park District of Forest Park. So at this time, I'd like to bring up the current president of the Park District of Forest Park, Eric Entler.
Thank you, Mayor. Speaking to Ron earlier this week, and a couple themes hit me as he was talking again today. One, he mentioned the partnership with the village, his working relationship with us, but you know what it comes down to? It's teamwork. And to me, that museum is the ultimate resemblance of teamwork. Each person who's been inducted, it's individual honor, but they will say it's because of their teammates. So thank you. I'm sure there are a lot of the life lessons that I've learned on the sports field. Perseverance, winning, losing. You guys had to persevere a lot over the last 20 years to make this happen. So thank you from the board. Thank you for the residents of the Forest Park for adding another gem into the crown jewel of Forest Park. Thank you.
Eric Entler, everybody. Okay, guess what? We got some money to give away. We have a beautiful raffle we're conducting. Just find the people, buy those raffle tickets, and support it, and you'll win a lot of money. A lot of money to give away. We're going to basically pick that ticket roughly already about 3:15. And again, very important, you do not have to be there to win. You could sign in right now, and you don't have to be here. We'll send you the cash on Monday. I also want to mention that all the people, if you'd like to sign in and get on the email list, all the inductees and guests And our good friends from Comcast, God bless you for coming. Our good friends from WBBM, our good friends from WCKG are here. The Sun Times. Thank you all. Let's give them a big round of applause. The media has supported us today. I'm going to very quickly, before we bring up the big guy, mention who was inducted just recently. The Wall of Fame award went to Curtis Granderson, Dan Carmody, and Tommy Horn, and Tansi Saresevich. Big hand for them. The managers of the year were Sherman Nelson and Chubbs Forest Park Pulpus. He's a legend in town. The high school champs were Northside Prep, and then Death Wish was a team winner. The women, oh my goodness, if they're here, they win every game. Colleen Logan Linhart, Renee Strasser. Renee, I hope you're here, I love you. Pioneer this year was the great Donald Savage. The 64 to 80 area was Bobby Bernstein, Kent Israel, and Ray Johnson. 81 to 92, Drake Jones and John Stock. And then the recent inductees, as we call it, the 1993 to current, and some of them are here today, Jenny Jalowick, Davey Rule, and Israel Sanchez. Big hand for them. Our friends from Traffic were inducted as well. Our umpire of the year was Pete McGuire. Where are you, Pete? Strike three, Pete. And of course, the organizers, I mentioned them earlier, but they deserve it again. Two great gentlemen who I've known for years. It's an honor to know you, Ron and Rich Onesti, the Onesti brothers. The Saints, Mike Paulo, the Saints, God bless the Saints. The Holden Award, Richie Catazone, and the greatest guy from Iowa, Johnny Regline from Graphic Edge. And the Daily Award this year was Sal Malazzo, the Peppers team, etc., etc. You cannot introduce the next guy accurately enough. We're talking a guy that had a vision, and it is in front of our eyes today. Artie, you remember when this came true. This is another dream truth moment in our lives. Let's bring up the man, our founder, co-founder from Phoenix, Arizona, who made it all happen. Please, if you'd like to stand up, I'm okay with it. Al Mag, Mr. Alan Mag.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. You know that MasterCard commercial? Well, seeing all you folks working with this great board for years, 20 years to get here. There are so many people to thank. There's so many people, the reason I'm here, I think they know who they are. And like Tom Bonnet, Bob Campbell, others like that. But these guys right here made everything happen. And there's a few that I gotta say thank you to, Ronnie and Artie and Ray. We've been through this thing for almost all 20 years. And Ray, this thing's twice as good as I ever expected, and I have a pretty good imagination. And Fritz, thank you. I think Ronnie's right about the wives. That was very kind of you to do that. My wife let us blow off our 40th anniversary so I could keep working on this thing. So I owe her a big one. Her sister, Terry, came out and helped, but I was staying at her house just to come here and work on things. It's crazy what you do, but it's crazier what you guys do to help us get things done. So thank you very, very much. One guy that can't make it today, his granddaughter's getting married, is the co-founder. I'm not just the founder, I'm a co-founder. Is Tony Reibel, who is a great, great player from the Sovies. When I asked him if he was coming, he had that gleam in his eye of he was going to blow off the wedding just like we did in our 20s and 30s and 40s. He said, yeah, I think I want to I want to come, but. So he obviously couldn't make it. I hope you like the museum. There were some great comments about how people gave us things. Without those things, there's not much to show. We tried telling stories about many of you, many of your teams, but we're going to learn more from you as time goes on. I think you're going to see some things and go, hey, why aren't we in there? Well, you know what? Give us the stuff. We'll make sure it is. Don't think this thing is done. There's room in there that we hope to expand. I'll just throw in one plug. We could use some money. So if anyone wants to donate any money, if you got a company out there that wants to put their brand on this thing, help us. Don't think it's done. Trust me, it's not done. Well, I think 16-inch softball is like pan pizza, the Billy Goat, blues in Chicago, the great architecture of Chicago. We are part of Chicago. And we are generations of Chicagoans who played this game. And the Chicago Tribune put out an article not too long ago that there were 20 great innovations from Chicagoans. And softball was number 17. It should have been number 16. A lot of people have asked me, why'd you do this? Well, okay, I won't bore you with that reason, but I can tell you one thing, and I don't think it's any different from most of you in here. Who are your best friends? Mine are because of softball. I see some of them in the area, the Baggers and the Molex guys. They're my best friends. And I'm pretty sure you all have the same thoughts. That's what makes life go by. And when you play with someone from April to September, you know everything. You know all the secrets, you know everything, and you don't care if they got kids or a wedding to go to. They're playing the next day. So that was always important. But we hope the next generation, there's going to be somebody sitting out there, I hope, will get engaged, encouraged, and enthusiastic about the idea of placing this board. We want to get the younger folks involved. We want to get the game played more. This isn't just about what the past is about. It's about the future. And I think we hold that future. All of you here hold that future. So we all know it's a great game. Let's go out and play it, get in the game, and thank you very much. It's a great day. It is a priceless day. Thank you.
Okay, El Mag. One more time for El Mag. This song is The Time Has Come. I Can't Turn You Loose. Now, we're going to do the ribbon cutting, and we're going to get you...
See you all. Bring back up.